President Trump addressed Congress. Now, I have a lot of takeaways from Trump's speech, and the speech was amazing. It was amazing. It was good. And I don't know how he has the stamina, the energy. This man can just keep go, go, go for his age. I hope and pray when I'm at that age that I am still going and just running on high speed because this man is just amazing. And there's times that I'm super tired, like I don't want to keep going, I don't want to go, I just want to just lay in my bed and sleep. However, I push through. I push through, and Donald Trump, he's just amazing. He just keeps going, going. Does this man ever sleep? I just feel like he's just like a vampire. That he just stays up in the middle of the night, just scrambling, trying to think of things what he should do, his next plans and stuff like that. I don't know. The man is amazing. But I just want to talk about the takeaways of Trump's speech. Now, Al Green. Now he's a Democrat, you know, from the other side, and he was removed. He was removed from his outbursts, and a lot of Democrats, they're like screaming like children here. Like these are grown ass people, okay, in their 70s, 60s, 80s, 40s, whatever. And then they can't act like grown adults here. Like they can't be mature. They have to be whining and screaming, boo. Like, get serious. Face it. You guys lost. You guys lost. Be humble about it. Move on. There's nothing you guys can do. Donald Trump is here to stay. He's bringing America back again. Like, get over it. Get over it. Okay? And it's just like so ridiculous. They're screaming like children, like toddlers, and then they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They can't compose themselves. And I'm just happy to see that Al Green, and I don't know this man from a hole on the wall, but I'm happy that they removed him from the House floor and kicked him out because he was just being really disrespectful, very rude, and there was no need for it. There was no need for it. If you don't like what Donald Trump had to say, or if you didn't want to listen what he was talking about, then you shouldn't attend. Like, why did you come? If you didn't like it, why did you come to say have a spectacle and just be in front of the camera to show like, oh, I'm tough. I don't like what he's saying, so I'm just gonna act like a toddler and scream and cry. Rah, rah, rah. No, boy, bye. Okay, bye. So I'm glad that he was removed and Trump continued with his speech like nothing. So the best takeaways I liked about his speech is the executive orders banning sex changes for minors who, if they wanted to get like a sex change that in the past it was like okay. And I just don't understand why Trump, and I'm not blaming Trump, I just don't understand why it had to take Trump to do an executive order to do that when that's common sense. Minors don't have that decision to say, oh, I just want to change sex because one day I just feel like I'm a boy opposed to a girl, or I'm a girl and I want to change to a boy. It doesn't work that way, especially minors. Like minors don't have that right or that decision to change their sex until they're 18. Once you're 18, you can do what you want. But as far as I know, it's a parent's job to protect their child and then to raise their child and give them the best advice as possible. So like back in the day, it was never like this, and all of a sudden things change, culture change. People wanted to change their sex. People wanted to call themselves they, them instead of he and she, and then there's executive orders of that. There's executive orders of transgender, excuse me, men cannot play in women's sports when that's common sense that you shouldn't. And it's just crazy that Trump had to do that, had to do an executive order for that to stick and to ban all this stuff when it's common sense that it shouldn't be allowed in the first place, But the far left thinking that it's okay that your child should be identified as they, them, dog, cat, frog, alien. It's just ridiculous. God made two things, a male and a female. That's it. Nothing else, okay? Unless you can tell me or pull up somewhere that God created us humans to be someone else, okay? God is not an author of confusion. He doesn't make mistakes. I'm very clear on that. He does not make mistakes. He made a male and a female. That's it. And that's how we're going to identify. If I see a transgender woman or a man, I'm going to identify the sex that God created them. Period. That's just me. That's just me. Doesn't mean that I'm homophobe or anything. I respect and love everyone, but I'm not going to address you that God created you. Okay. So if you're a man transitioning into a woman, you are a man. You just plain make up and dress up to me. You cannot alter your DNA and your chromosome. Point blank, period. That's it. That's it. You can't. I don't care how many ways you slice it and dice it. You cannot. Period. Another thing that I like, closing the borders, cutting taxes, cutting wasting spending. He's shutting all that down. Okay, he is getting rid of that. And then the far left are just very upset because they're finding corruptions. They're finding things that they shouldn't have been doing for the last 4 years, and things are coming out. And they're not very happy or pleased because none of them applause, none of them stand up and clap. And then they always just had that sourpuss in their face, like they were very miserable. And it's very sad to see because we all, the left, it shouldn't be the left and the right. It should be all brothers and sisters coming together and uniting as one. Because at the end of the day, the one goal is to make America great again, to make America safe again, to make America healthy again. That's what we want. That's the end goal. And I just don't know. I just don't know why we're so divided when we all want the same things. Okay, we want to feel safe. We want to feel that we can provide for our family. That the borders are closed. That we can afford groceries and gas and housing. That's all American people want. And you don't want to feel like we're being robbed and lied to from the media. That's all we want. And I just don't understand why Democrats don't want the same thing. But I feel like they just want to keep us in the dark, tell us lies, stealing money from our taxpayer dollars and everything so they can get rich, so they can just do whatever they want and get away with it and then not deal with the consequences of it, which is not right. It is not right. And it's just sad. It's just sad that they can't see that. They lost. Sleepy Joe, he's gone. He's been gone for a very long time. He never run this country. Okay, I don't know who did, but it sure wasn't him. It sure wasn't Kamala. Kamala lost too. You need to get over it. All this campaign and shutting a lot of things down with Doge and with Trump, it's like it's over. It's been over since the American people elected Donald Trump as president. We are stuck with him for 4 years, which I am grateful and thankful for that because there's a lot of cleaning up that him and his administrator are doing. And he's making America great again. And let's be clear, Donald Trump is a billionaire, okay? He's a billionaire. He doesn't need to do this. He can be living off in the sunset, playing golf, spending time with his grandchildren, his wife, doing a lot of things, especially Elon Musk. But he put that on the side for the greater good. He saw something bigger, something better, and he wants to make America great again. And I'm sorry, you can hate him, you can love him, you can disagree with a lot of things that he says, but this man cares, okay? He cares about the American people, he cares about his country, and for me, that says a lot. It says a lot. And I'm grateful for that. And, a lot of people should be grateful for that too. Another takeaway, touching moment, him talking to Laken Riely's mother and sister, Jocelyn's mother. I can't remember her name, so forgive me. A lot of people, and this 13-year-old boy, DJ Daniel, who is a cancer survivor. Donald Trump, honorary him as a Secret Service, which it was just amazing. Like, it just put tears in my eyes last night. It was just such a touching moment to see that and to see this 13-year-old boy who survived cancer, brain cancer. Okay, you guys, brain cancer, had multiple surgeries, and he's here. And the doctor told him that he had a certain months to live, and look what God did. God said no, it's not his time. It's not his time, and look what happened. He wanted to be a police officer, but with this, brain cancer, things had to be paused. And again, he's 13-year-old, recovering and stuff like that. And now it's just amazing what Donald Trump did. And none of the Democrats stand up and clap. How disgusting is that? How disgusting. Did he even get up? That's how crazy and childish that they are. They did not get up and clap and applaud and to this 13-year-old boy. What did this 13-year-old boy did to you guys, Democrat? What? Not even one person. I guarantee you, if one person of the left would have stood up and clapped, I think all of them would too. It just takes that one person, but their ego, their pride got in the way, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it, and that is sad. That is very sad, and I'm definitely going to pray for them. And I just have to say one last final thing about, the takeaways of Trump's speech. Goodbye, woke. Woke has left the building. It is finished. It is finished, done, okay? We're bringing America back. We're bringing everything great again. And buckle up, Buttercup, because it's going to be an amazing 4 years ride, okay? And I am all for it. I am all for it, and you guys should be too. And like I said, you may not like Donald Trump. I respect that. You may not like what he says. I respect that. However, he's making America great again. He's making moves, and he has been making moves since he got into the White House. So you cannot say that he's not doing anything, because he has. And I know you guys are saying about the groceries, the eggs. Don't you worry. That is going to be worked on. I'm not worried, because I am confident enough that the gas prices, which it went down a little bit, but the groceries, the housing, everything is going to work itself out. I'm sure of it, so I'm not worried. We were suffering for the last 4 years. I think we can wait a little bit more before we see, the groceries get lower, the inflations will be a little bit better. So just be patient and just have grace, because none of you guys said anything for the last 4 years with the eggs and the gas and then the housing. None of you said that when Sleepy Joe was in office. None of you said anything. And now that Trump is doing a lot of things, making moves, making things happen, now you complaining about eggs? Yeah, eggs are expensive. They're $5. I went to the store. I'm like, my gosh, $5 for eggs. I can just grow a farm, which I might do one day. Just grow a farm and just make my own eggs. Get my own land and have some chickens and cows and a bunch of different animals. But until then, I just gotta wing it out. So just be patient. Don't you worry. Trump is making things happen. Okay? Those are my takeaways of Trump's speech of Congress. Now, I want to talk about and just give you my input on what I spoke about last week of the Tate brothers. Now, like I said, I don't know the whole background of Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. I never watched none of their YouTube channels at all. The only time I heard of Andrew Tate, to be honest with you, when he did an interview with Piers Morgan and also Candace Owens, he looked, what's the word? Not fascinated, but intrigued to hear what he had to say and what the topic was about. And I was very intrigued by what he had to say. Now, I just don't understand, you guys, that, we all have done and said stupid, crazy, outrageous things in our life, okay? I know I have. But thank God, back in those days when, in the 90s, we didn't have, the whole big social media, that would, catch up to me later on like now. Thank God for that, because I said some crazy stuff, and I have done some dumb, stupid stuff. And I'm glad that it's not biting me in the butt right now. It's possible it can. I don't know. I can't recall things that I've done that maybe that's on film. I don't know. Hopefully not. And I tell you, there's no sex tape, okay? None. But my point is, the things that they're criticizing of Andrew Tate, that he done what, 2013? And again, I don't know how old he was at the time, but probably young. He probably said some crazy things, and people don't like him. People hate him and stuff like that. But I just feel like you should not judge people things that they said or did in the past, especially if they're not the same person that there was a decade ago or several years ago. I just feel like no one doesn't have grace anymore. Like people can't change and revolve and do things better. Like why would you hold him what he said in the past? It's just not right. You know what I mean? If that's the case, then people should be holding a lot of things that people have said in the past. That's a big influencer. You get what I'm saying? So I just don't understand that. Like why they're targeting him. Like why they're trying to bring him down. Is it because he's such a big influencer and a lot of people listen to him and hear what he has to say and he has common sense? What is it that they fear of him? I don't understand that because a lot of them fear him, especially like Ron DeSantis and the U.S. General Attorney James. I can't pronounce his last name. James something. Trying to press charges against Andrew Tate, seizing his electronics and stuff like that. For what? He is a U.S. citizen, you guys. Okay, he came from Romania, which he was charged with human trafficking, which there was no evidence, nothing to the claim, and he got released. Okay, he was in jail for a long period of time. They raided his home 6 times. They tried to find any evidence. The person that accused him retracted her story. There was nothing there, and then they let him go. They let the brothers go. And now that he came back to the United States last Thursday, February 27th, okay, and now you want to seize his electronics. Now you want to make up some false charges against him because things that he did. There was no evidence, you guys. And listen, I went and read the lawsuit and everything. I could not find anything. I'm sorry. I don't know the man from the hole on the wall, but I didn't find anything. And what is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And what they're doing to this man is completely, utterly wrong, and it's not right. You cannot use your power in the justice system just to put someone down or just to make a point because you don't like the comments that he said back in 2013. Like, get serious. Like, get serious. Or he's not welcome here. Like, you can't do that. This man is a citizen of the United States. How dare you? And how dare you do that to this man? What did this man did to you? You don't even give him a heads up. Hey, by the way, I heard from someone that you're going to be coming to West Palm Beach. I just don't want you here. Like, be mad enough to tell him that. But no, you just utterly embarrass him and try to make it feel like he's a criminal, and he's not a criminal, okay? He has done nothing wrong. And then you guys are finding some bogus evidence against him when he just landed last month, excuse me. What evidence can you find so quickly? And it's just so funny. And like I said, it's so funny with Jeffrey Epstein. They found all the evidence, and he traveled. He had his private jet, traveled back and forth from Palm Beach to St. Thomas to whatever. You guys said nothing. You allowed it for so many years. And there was proof in the pudding in regards to Jeffrey Epstein. And you guys said nothing. You did nothing. But then with Andrew Tate, there's no evidence. But you're trying to find evidence and point evidence to him when there's nothing there. You guys look ridiculous. You look stupid and foolish. Okay? And I hope that once they look at his electronics and they find nothing, then I hope Andrew Tate sues you guys, because this is just ridiculous. You're trying to take away this man's his constitutional rights. You're trying to scare him. You're trying to, do whatever, but it's not working. It's not working because it seems like this man is very strong. He's been through the ringer. He's been through so much in Romania and now in the United States. Like, get serious. Like, what's the matter with these people? What is the matter with Ron DeSantis? I just don't understand this. Like, he needs to go. And, I liked him. I like what he did with COVID. I like what he did with a lot of things with, natural disasters, like I said in my previous video, because from New York to here, I like a lot of stuff that he did. But now what he's doing is wrong because he's listening to other people. He's listening to other people basically he's like a puppet. Like, he doesn't have a mind of his own. And he knows what he's doing is wrong. And he doesn't have a voice. And that's very sad. And thank God. Thank you, Jesus. He did not become president of the United States, because if he did, we would have been in big trouble, you guys. We would have been in big trouble. It would have been another Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris. Okay, thank God. And I just feel like with Ron DeSantis, he doesn't have a mind of his own. He really don't. And I want to pull up Attorney General, the comment that he made, and I'm going to read it to you. So bear with me. Okay. Last week, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. Based on thoughtful review of the evidence, I have directed the Office of Statewide Prosecution to execute a search warrant and issue a subpoena in the now active criminal investigation into the Tate brothers. Listen, okay, I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a politician, okay? I'm just a regular person who just loves to talk and have common sense, okay? This is bullshit, okay? The man landed last month on February 27th. What evidence do you have? Please, enlighten me. What evidence do you have? So you try to tell me he did some criminal activity from 11 hours from flying to Romania to Palm Beach. So you try to tell me he did some crazy activities while he was on the plane and then and landed to Palm Beach Airport? Make it make sense to me. No, you just don't like the dude because you probably looked at his old YouTube videos that he has done, and then you're thinking, oh, okay, he said all this, so now we're just going to make some fake jump charges against him and raid his house, get a search warrant, and do all this. It's just ridiculous, and it's just not right, you guys. It's not. Like, how dare they do that? Like, what right do you have? What evidence do you have? None. None at all whatsoever. So it doesn't make any sense why they're doing this to this man, because you don't like him. So basically, if I say a certain thing that someone doesn't like, that give them the right to arrest me, that give them a right to make some charges against me that's not even true. That's how it works in America now, without even doing your research and fact checking and making sure what they're saying is true. Have they even read the lawsuit? Probably not. They're just going based by what he said on YouTube, which is not right. This is not right, and this is what needs to change. Listen, we don't all have to like or agree about someone's opinion. We can agree to disagree. We can have our opinions and our thoughts, and we may not like the person. However, it doesn't give anyone in the government or who works in higher power just to use your power and to do whatever you want with that person. That's not right. Because after reading that, and he hasn't been convicted. There's no evidence. You know what I mean? And correct me if I'm wrong. It's innocent until proven guilty, okay? You can't just say, oh, he's guilty because he said certain things. You can't just say, oh, Cheryl said this and she's guilty. No, you got to follow the evidence. You got to follow the paper trail. You got to follow proof. You cannot just go by what someone says because you don't like that person. That's not how it works. If that was the case, everyone would be in prison right now, right? Everyone would be in prison if that's the case. If we say certain things that some people may not like, we'd be in prison. This is America, okay? We are entitled of free speech. As long as we're not hurting anyone, as long as we're not doing anything criminal, we are allowed to voice our opinion and say what we want. Point blank, period. And you cannot take away our constitutional rights and rights to say whatever we need to say. Within reason, obviously. Within reason. And I feel like this brothers did nothing wrong. Did nothing wrong. And, just thinking about it, when Andrew Tate did an interview with Piers Morgan back in October 9th, and he said about like the Palestinian children that, dying and, with the rumble and the bombs and stuff like that. I agree with him. None of these children and women should have been killed. None of this should have happened. I am pro-life, okay? None of it should happen. With Israel, with Gaza, it was just despicable and heartbreaking and disgusting. Okay, but does that make me an anti-Semite because I said that? Because I am pro-life? Because I didn't like to see women and children are being killed, being under the rumble and from the buildings and stuff like that? And that's what he said. And then because he said that, everyone turned on him. That's crazy. Because he just said how he feels. He was just voicing his opinion, and I agree with him. Whether you in Gaza or Israel, no women and children should be killed the way that they did during that war. That war should not even happen in the first place. It shouldn't, but it did. And innocent women and children and men got killed from it. Both sides. I'm not taking either side because what's right is right. Women and children should have not been killed. Okay, it's just crazy. It was just like it's like a genocide. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. And now because he said that, and now people are turning their back on him. Now they're thinking that he's a human trafficker and all that stuff. What proof? What evidence? Because he's been clear. Okay, they turned over the what you call it? Let me before I say anything. Hold on. Yes, the case was turned over, you guys. It was turned over. No evidence to back up these claims of the human trafficking. Like, where is it? If that was the case, he would not have flown to United States. He would be in jail in Romania. But they released him because they realized they had nothing to back up the claims that they were saying about him. They took his phones, they seized his money, everything. They knew what they were doing. That's why I don't trust the government. That's why I don't trust the government. They lie. They lie. They don't tell the truth. Okay? They do not tell the truth. They lie and steal and cheat. And if they don't like what you say, they do everything they can to destroy your life, like they're doing with Andrew Tate. But I have to commend him because he is a man of God, and he has a strong faith with God, and he's not giving up. I believe that God has a purpose for this man, okay? Because not normal people, let me rephrase that. People who have been through what Andrew Tate went through, a lot of people would have just gave up, disappear, live in an island somewhere off in the sunset, and just say, you know what, I'm done with this. I can't take this anymore. They've been doing this to me for how many years? 4 years? I can't. Let me just live my best life, take care of my children, my family, and that's it. But no, that's not him because he's not backing down because he did absolutely nothing wrong. And I agree with him. He did nothing wrong. So he's going to fight this, and he has God on his side. I'm going to pray for him that, he's going to fight this because he has been fighting, he has been winning because they have no proof. They have no proof of everything. And shame on, Ron DeSantis and everyone else who's involved in this. It's just ridiculous. Like, you need to just take a step back, Ron DeSantis, and whoever is involved, apologize and move on because what you did was wrong to Andrew Tate and Christian Tate, and is wrong. Will we see an apology? Probably not. Probably not because he felt like he did nothing wrong. And I just feel like, our justice system needs to be fair. It needs to be right. I just feel like, in my opinion, it is broken, you guys. It is so broken. And it just breaks my heart because it's like there's no fairness. There's no process in this. You say this, you're guilty. You say that, you're guilty. With no evidence, nothing to back up what happened. It's like there's no innocent until proven guilty. It seemed like that just went out the window. There's no innocent until proven guilty. You say this, you're guilty, that's it. Which it should not be. That's not how it works, you guys. It doesn't work like that. And I just don't understand, like, why they're doing this to this man. Like, what do they fear? What do they fear in this man? Like, I just don't understand. They really fear him. Like he's some devil or something. And he's just a normal man who's just trying to take care of his family and just do what he needs to do. That's it. That's the impression that I got of him. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand what they fear. What they fear of Andrew Tate. Do Andrew Tate know something about your past or something that you just like so scared that you don't want? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like, they're focusing on the wrong thing. Okay, why did all that energy they're doing to Andrew Tate? Why did didn't do that to Jeffrey Epstein, you guys. Why they didn't do that? They gave him that sweetheart deal, house arrest for 18 months or whatever the first time, and that's it. A slap on the wrist. They're going so hard at Andrew Tate. They never did that with Jeffrey Epstein, which is so sad and so pathetic. And they have real victims who were molested by this man, you guys. Real victims. And they did nothing. That was all a cover up to protect a pedophile. Protect someone who had sex with underage girls. Sex trafficking. They are protecting, well, there was protecting him, pardon me. Opposed to Andrew Tate, there's no evidence. There's nothing to back up their claims about him. Stop focusing on Andrew Tate, okay, unless you have some proof or evidence, which they don't. Focus on more of the corruption in our government with wasting spending that they've been doing, the wars that's been happening, okay? Let's focus on, let's find the Epstein's black book list, okay, which the FBI have and have not released it yet because they know the names, like I said. They know the names, or probably that book is probably shredded or burned, okay? Maybe that book doesn't exist anymore. I think it's gone. I think they destroyed it. I think they destroyed the evidence, just like they they said they killed Jeffrey Epstein. They got rid of a lot of stuff, okay? They did. I don't think it's out there anymore. The FBI probably know who the names were in that black book. We will never know. I'm just going to be honest with you. We will never know. Even though I'm doing a 3-part series, Who Killed Jeffrey Epstein, but we will never know the truth. We will never know, one, who killed him. We will never know the names of that black book list clients. We will never know that. And the flight logs that's on the website right now, completely bogus, okay? It's just completely nothing. And Pam Bundy, she needs, and I'm not blaming her, but she needs to put an action or something to the FBI and demand something, the names, because what's on that website is completely, utterly horseshit. I'm sorry, it's completely bullshit, and there's nothing. There's nothing unless you know how to read all those names, all those initials, unless you know each and one of them in the 118 pages, good luck, okay? Because I tried and I couldn't. I had to do my own research and dig to find the manifest from 2005, like I said, from January 1st to October 6th of 2005. And there are names in that manifest and Jeffrey Epstein private jets, two of them, two companies, okay? The names that are on that manifest, there are names in that flight log, the ones that I can read, okay? The ones that I cannot read, I don't know because it's so blurry. The penmanship is just completely awful. Some of the names of the pages were blackened out on purpose, I believe. That's just my thought, on purpose. And that's just, like I said, don't even waste your time looking at that flight log unless you know what you're looking at. Unless you know what you're looking at. But anyway, I'm just astonished that this happens to this man. You know, like I said, I don't know him personally. I never watched none of his YouTube channels. I just don't understand why they're trying to persecute him. I don't understand. Like, they're just going so hard for these two men who did nothing wrong, in my opinion. Because I read it, the lawsuit, there's no evidence. There's no evidence backing up that he did human trafficking. And all the women that accused him said, no, I lied. So what is it? What is it that you are so fearful of this man? This one particular man, okay? But you wasn't fearful of Jeffrey Epstein, the man that got away with pedophile and having sex with underage girls for decades? They knew this for decades, and you let him fly to West Palm Beach and back and forth. You guys said nothing. What a hypocrite, okay? You had the proof with Jeffrey Epstein. You guys did nothing. You're trying to persecute this man, Andrew Tate, and there's no evidence. There's no proof. You seize his electronics. You're doing all this stuff. You're doing all this extra stuff when you should have been doing all that extra stuff with Jeffrey Epstein. That could have saved a lot of victims going through the horror, the torture, the abuse by this monster, by this predator. But you guys did nothing. Shame on you. Disgusting. 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 It's just such a double standard. It's such a hypocrite. I guess, when you have a lot of money, like Jeff Epstein did, a billionaire, I guess you can pay a lot of people off to keep their mouth shut and look the other way. Because that's what they did. That's basically what they did for the last decade. And it's sad. And it's sad. And that's why I stand by this. I do not trust the government. I really don't, because they're not for the people. They lie, they steal, they cheat, they cover things up. They're all those things. Okay? They're all those things. They're not for us. They were never for us. They're only for themselves and their pockets, and that's it. To make them richer and richer, and us poor and poorer, and just to keep doing all this corruptions and all this things that they've been doing. But you know what? Trump is back. He's going to find all the collude corruptions and the wasteful spending, and he's going to put a stop to it. And that's why the Democrats are crying. That's why they're so upset, because they're losing. They've been losing. The people have spoken, you guys. Okay? People have spoken. And it's time to take our country back. It's time to take things back, because I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired that they just, persecuting, people that don't need to be. They're not, going after the real criminals out there. It's just like they having the real criminals get a free pass. And the people that just said some crazy stuff in their past, they're using it against them, which is not right. Okay, we all have, like I said, we all have done some crazy and said some crazy stuff, but it doesn't mean that we should go to prison for it. Doesn't mean that you should make some fake charges against us just to put us back in the corner and put us in our place. That's not how it works. It never worked that way. I don't know why they started doing it now. It's just ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And I hope Donald Trump sees this. Not my video, obviously, because he's too busy. I'm not that important. But you know what I mean? Seeing what's going on with Andrew Tate. And I know Andrew Tate's going to fight this and fight this until the bitter end. And I hope that, his attorney and clear his name, because he did nothing wrong, and sue the living heck out of these people, because it's just ridiculous and needs to stop. And they need to be put on their place. They need to know that you cannot do this to people that you don't like. If you don't like the person, okay, life is tough. Get over it. I don't like a lot of people, but I'm not going to accuse someone of something that they didn't do because I didn't like them or I can't stand them. That's not how it works. And you can't do that. You can't do that to this particular person, to anyone in that matter. You can't do that. You don't like someone, you don't like someone. But that doesn't give you a right to make some bogus charges or find something that's not even there, to have it stick, and then just to humiliate this man, to embarrass him, and say, I found something. He did this. So what he said back in 2013 is true what he's doing now. No. Stop. It's just ridiculous. So that's my thoughts on that. But again, let me know what you think about the whole Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate and Donald Trump's speech that he did last night. Again, it was amazing. I love it. So let me know your thoughts about this. Thank you so much for watching That's It with Cheryl. I really appreciate you guys taking the time, as always, to listen, to comment if you can. If not, that's fine. Please subscribe if you like this video, if you like this channel. And I really appreciate you guys. Love you all, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.